Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here to Fan Fridays. So with 2 more weeks until Pokemon Sun and Moon comes out, I decided I wanted to send off the 6th generation with some of the best fan submissions we have seen so far. And don't worry guys, there's going to be all kinds of crazy videos and different formats and setups and battles. So if you don't see any of your favorite battles, just give it a moment. Of course we're going to see Spin to Swap, of course we're going to see Soak Ninja, and so much more. So enjoy the best combos that we have seen in Fan Fridays with a Azukis, Swoobat, and a little bit more. There it is. So Togekiss going to follow me. We're going for all that. Togekiss now center of attention. Thunderous going to taunt, but because of the priority of follow me, Togekiss is the one taunted instead. There's the Azumarill with the belly drum because Rotom decided he had better things to do than get just straight up Aqua Jetted. Wasn't anticipating the belly drum. Boom. Free advantage right there. And now Thunderous in for some trouble because, I mean, that's going to be a brutal Aqua Jet. So Aqua Jet headed for the Thunderous, removing the threat that does the most damage to you. That goes away just like that. Togekiss also packing that Air Slash. Going to outspeed the tanky Rotom, gets the flinch shut down, and now Heracross is on the field. So I mean, Heracross, that's super threatened by the Air Slash, and then Rotom super threatened by the Aqua Jet, but we've seen him use the Protect without hesitation before. So it depends on how this goes. Azumarill going to Aqua Jet, just going to take out that Rotom. Rotom already effectively shut down. I guess trying to get that damage across with the Heracross. And Heracross going to use Rock Blast. So going to try to do as much possible to the Azumarill. Azumarill, very hit point bulky Pokemon though. It doesn't look like Heracross, even with its silly amount of attack, is going to have enough damage to get this Azumarill off the field. Togekiss, there's that powerful Air Slash I was talking about, and it's going to be enough damage. Togekiss rocking a very high amount of special attack. That's going to be game right there. Do we go for an... Let's do it. Let's go for an unprecedented 3 submissions from the same person. Because, I mean, this battle's over. Mamoswine can't do anything. Goes down to an Aqua Jet. That's 4 Pokemon in 4 turns in a double battle because of this ridiculous setup. It could matter from the Stoutland, and that is just a straight Dragon Claw. So, going for the damage. Buffalon tanks it like a boss. And Stoutland go... Oh! Opponent's got Work Up Last Resort. That'd be pretty sick. But we'll see what else happens. So Florges with the Petal Blizzard into the Sap Sipper. It's one of those combos. Oh, that is about to get exciting. So Sap Sipper going to kind of neutralize that Intimidate. Buffalon has Skull Bat. About to say, that's not Head Charge. But gains defense. Gets the Power Herb. Has Symbiote. What? Yo! That just happened. That's everything I've ever wanted, man. That's great because you don't think about the symbiosis that often. Like, symbiosis has so much playmaking potential, especially off of something right there. So Buffalon just gained 3 stats. It got +1 attack, while also, you know, Florges is doing a little bit of damage. Very little bit, but it's still something. And then Buffalon goes into return. Also, Skull Bash deals damage. So you get Stab on the Skull Bash for a big hit after gaining the attack. Wow. That's pretty awesome. And then you gain the Assault Vest, so you can only use offensive moves, but that's after doing the Skull Bash. You gain defense, you gain special defense off that Florges, and then just support for days. And I'm wondering if Florges could either keep going for that on the Sap Sipper. Doesn't it get Heal Pulse as well? It's a very supportive Pokemon. And then stuff is going to happen. So yeah, Buffalon also just transitions over the Earthquake. So will deal insane damage. Actually, not insane enough damage to the Florges. Very surprising. Wow. Yeah, Buffalon's been gaining attack like mad, but that takes out the Pikachu. That finishes off the Haxorus. And then we get to go into the Greninja. And Florges has Magic Coat. So I love the Magic Coat tech. Just got to show that off. You never know. So Greninja with the Power Up Punch. Protean going to make it a fighting type. That's going to hit Buffalon. Buffalon survives it. Remember, defense boost. It's okay. And then Greninja's going to get destroyed by the return. Oh, I am very excited because we have some more. We have more battle codes, and I want to see what this does. That is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. All right, we got another one. This one is going to be good. Also, got a comment about this battle. Very interesting. Pay attention to the opponent's Klefki right here. Boom. Master Ball, Klefki. you just don't get that. That is very likely hacked because the Master Ball doesn't breed down. So then that means the opponent has a Klefki that was natural caught that he's using in battle, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, you gotta have IVs and stuff, especially if you're doing Kid with Keys combo. Like, it's a little heartbreaking to see people cheat that one, but there we go, guys. So, suspected hacking right there. Either way, double paralysis, probably not the worst thing for this because these Pokemon plan on not being the fastest on the field. So a little bit of damage to Meowstic, a little bit of damage to Klefki. Buffalon gets full paralysis though, so we don't get to see the madness of the combo initially. And Meowstic heals up on the leftovers, which means Klefki probably has a Citrus Berry. So Klefki with that swagger, I mean, it's just Key with Keys, double swag play. We're going to see what Buffalon can do to it. So Florges is confused. Meowstic though, with that swagger, it's going to make Buffalon strong. This could get interesting right here. So now we get to watch the play happen. Buffalon, it's the only one that matters. Like, Florges hits itself in confusion, not the worst thing. You know, Buffalon already has +3 in the attack. If it gets the Skull Bash off, then it gains a defense boost. There's the Skull Bash, and now it pretty much just decides and one Pokemon dies, and it's going to be Meowstic. How much damage? Like, doesn't Skull Bash have a good base power as well? Like, that's the only thing that keeps it decent, is it gains defense, and then it kind of converts off the 2. Is it a 120? A 130. All right, nice 130 attack right there. It actually got a buff. Generation 6. Skull Bash's power changed from 100 to 130. There we go. So we get a little bit of a boost right there. And that's Florges with the Magikarp. Right, he was sitting on the Magikarp the whole time. Could have used that at any point. Especially if you're going up against Kitty with Keys. I'd imagine that's like one of the first things you want to throw down. And then Klefki with the foul play. So, doesn't do too much. I mean, you want to foul play the Buffalon because he's gaining attack and stuff. So Buffalon does hit self in confusion, but that just shows that even with the foul play, it wouldn't have done anything, maybe a quarter of its health. Starmie setting up the minimize though, so the opponent going for a full frustration team right there. And foul play, like, I don't know what Klefki has against this Florges. I honestly don't. I guess doesn't want to keep the Buffalon snowballing? That's Sap Sipper. And it's at the point like, alright, you Earthquake, because we didn't see Air Balloon on the Klefki, right, when it came in. I was paying more attention to the Master Ball. I mean, you can Earthquake and then rip. Buffalon's confused, gets off the Earthquake, and that is going to land on the Starmie, just trash the Klefki, and this battle is already looking to be over. So that's how it goes, guys. Like, yeah, the Skull Bash is also very strong because you're going into that +1 immediately on the first turn with a 130 stab. Like, I'm surprised as to what could survive that. Except this actually looks like a very tanky Buffalon. Like, I think the 202 on the hit points is max hit point investment. And maybe, like, some kind of split on the defenses and special defense. Because it's very slow. Very tanky. And, like, even, like, the Skull Bash didn't one-shot on that first battle we saw. So it does take some amp up. But I like those trade-offs that you can take. Because if you're gaining defenses, if you're gaining stats, well, that means you're getting a 50% boost, which is more than EVs would give you. So every turn you're alive is a turn you're effectively gaining for those defenses. So if defense boosting lets you survive an extra turn, it's actually worth it in the long run by comparison. So Snorlax is burned. Gonna do less damage. Buffalon finally snaps out of that confusion, gets the return, and Snorlax will go down. We get absolute madness. Like, this is one of those teams. This is one of those monotypes where it's just silly and crazy. So there we go. Quagsire leading it in the center this time. Got some water absorb. Gonna get some damage. And Jealous. I mean, it sets up Trick Room. The Mega on Lopunny is decent. Like, it has a Scrappy. It's gonna be able to It's gonna actually be able to hit the Jellicent. There's Fake Out. Fake Out. Shut down Jellicent. No Trick Room this turn. Mantine with a Wide Guard though. Doesn't want to see that Hyper Voice. Hey, we got some extra support. It's not only Surf. And Durant. Hone Claws. It wants to go big. And are we going to get the read onto Sylveon? Hyper Voice blocked. So, no scary damage. Quagsire's going to stockpile. And now the tankiness. Now it's about to get fancy right now. This is really interesting. Jellicent flinches. Lopunny gets the return. That's good. Jellicent 4. Solid hit. Not an insane amount. X-Scissor after stockpile. Go trade even, and there's a Quagsire taking a lot of damage, but Stockpile reducing that Draining Kiss. Oh, sorry, hiccup. Oh man, of all the times to get a hiccup right now, but whatever. We get that. We get the rain. There's the water absorb. After we get like Surf and whatnot, Mantine doesn't need it. But here we go. Surf from Quagsire. You don't expect Quagsire to be using Surf for too much. Durant actually take a lot of damage. And then there's a Trick Room. I love this. Like, it works. Everything synergizes so well. So now we're going to watch some craziness. Because, like, there's more Water Absorbs. Now Jellicent definitely survives that Scald. Or not Scald, the Return, whatever Lopunny is going to be thrown. And then we get the Surf damage. So Durant's going to straight up go down. Like, 50% boost really adds up. And then you get stabbed. Every hit's like a super effective hit. And then Quagsire, there's his Water Absorb, because now Jellicent going to try to get damage on the Lopunny. If it's enough. Dang. And it was enough. So now, Mantine with the Amnesia. Okay. That makes things fancy, because it's like, what's Sylveon going to do? Sylveon hits that Draining Kiss, wants to try to heal up. It's afraid of the Wide Guard from Mantine. Gets a little bit of health back. But, I mean, yeah, this is what I was hoping for. This was like the just Surf shenanigans into madness health while also just taking out opponents. I mean, Durant went down, Lopunny went down. This field clear complete. Oh, and Quagsire's also coveraging out like a mofo. There's Earth Power. Jolteon's not going to get one shot, but takes a substantial hit. Jellicent with the Surf, going to be able to heal up Quagsire. I mean, it works. Like, Quagsire doesn't need to get healed all the time, so he can do his own damage. We have Mantine at full health anyway. We have Jellicent at good amount of health. There we go. Now Quagsire almost going to full off of that. Another Surf. What will Jolteon do? Jolteon's just going to fall over right there. KO. And Hyper Voice. So throws out the Hyper Voice, but Amnesia, Stockpile, tankiness of Jellicent. There's a Calm Mind. But Espeon's not really going to be able to get too much out of it. We still have that turn of Trick Room. Calm Mind on that special defense actually a little bigger than I effectively gave credit for. No. Talonflame coming out into the rain. The opponent's shiny team getting absolutely trashed right now. Jellicent switching out. You got to preserve that Trick Room. Lantern comes in. And Talonflame's going to Tailwind. I mean, no? That's not going to do anything. So Lantern not really caring this turn. Mantine gets topped off by that Surf, so healthy-ish. And there we go. So how much is Talonflame taken from the Quagsire? Not enough to get KO'd. There's a Surf. That's definitely going to be enough to finish off. Also the damage onto Sylveon. Espeon's going to be a little unchecked, but I mean, Lantern's still going to have enough. And there we go. So Talonflame taking stupid amounts of damage. Like, that's what, 4.5 times? Rain, super effective, stab, shenanigans. Draining Kiss on the Lantern. Going for the biggest heal, I guess, with that Sylveon. Like, if it was Jellicent, would have been pretty nice. Espeon with the Psyshock. Not going to really care for Quagsire because he's got the Stockpile. There's a Surf. Lantern with a Water Absorb. Everybody gets healed up now. And, oh, that's right. Like, yeah, because of the Fake Out, like, this is turn 6. But it's still enough under the Trick Room. Surf, Surf, Surf. Eventually, Espeon's going to go down. Sylveon's, like, this is just one of the, this is just, like, one of those gimmicks that when it hits you, you just go, like, how do you get over this?
Here, we have a battle with Kit rounding out Fan Fridays, and he says that he can get some of the fastest speed boosting possible in the game, so I can't wait to find that out. But while I have you guys on suspense, I want to ask, can you guys handle 4 Fan Friday videos in a week? Mostly because I am getting so many requests right now. The comments fill up. Every week I get tons of personal messages in my inbox. Twitter, like, I'm always getting requests for Fan Fridays, and I'm trying to wonder where the trade-off is. I don't ever see myself doing 5, but back when I started I did 2. I moved to 3 out of necessity, and I feel like, can you guys handle 4? There are trade-offs. With 4, more people can get featured more over the course of a longer period of time. But at the same time, I'm hesitant. I'm very hesitant to do 4. Because if you guys don't want to watch 4 as much, then that means less views. Because Fan Friday, since I'm cramming 3 videos in a day, they already have lower views than normal. And I don't want to take away views from the people that are trying to get their strategy publicized, from the people that are getting featured. And I really don't want to, like, have the views come down by adding a 4th or something. And, like, there's a big trade-off there, and I'm wondering, what do you guys think? Can you guys handle extra Fan Fridays? Do you think it's worth it so that more people can get featured? Do you want to see more strategies? I don't know. I'm still, I don't know which way I could go with this. I think I'm staying with 3, but if there's an overwhelming response for 4 Fan Fridays, like, be honest, can you handle 4? Other than that, let's go and watch this battle. I see a Swoobat. Let's see what the Swoobat does. Alright, so hopping into the battle, but yeah, I still don't know what to think about the 4-3 for Fan Fridays. I used to have 2 more Tuesdays, but see, doing 2 more Tuesdays was almost too much, so I didn't want 2 days of just non-battles for me. Alright, so opponent withdraws Meowstic. Doesn't think it can handle it. We have Sylveon versus Drapion, and then a Landorus. Alright, so Swoobat. Swoobat has the simple ability, which means its attack harshly fell. It flings... Whoa. Okay, so it used Fling. That's going to proc Speed from the Salac Berry. And then it has a weakness policy, which means that it drastically raises its attack and special attack. And then it uses Amnesia. I wish there was a pause feature, because that's a lot of stats right there. That's +4 from the Amnesia, +4 attack, +4 special attack, and +2 speed, and then using stored power for a KO onto Landorus. What the hell just happened? And now Drapion uses Acupressure on it to give it a +4 to random stat. Unfortunately, it's accuracy, but if it was defense, that'd be insane. So Hyper Voice not doing a ton of damage because of that huge boost to special defense. Swoobat, it's got some huge power right now. That's insane. So there's Infernape coming out. I think Infernape is a good choice because you can give it that fake out support, use that stored power to one-hit KO give any Pokemon. We'll see where it goes. Alright, so Rotom with the Protect, playing it safe, protecting itself. Infernape going for the fake out on the Meowstic with the switch that kind of doesn't do much. Stored power protects on the Rotom. That wasn't that great. But now we have Light Screen. I don't know, that stored power is over, I think it's at 300 base power. So that Light Screen with the stab, with the +4, not enough. Rotom, the special defense beast, goes down. Oh, I'm loving this strategy. That's some speed right there. Close combat into Meowstic, not expecting a lot of damage, but it's something. I'm trying to think about how I can make this work more, because I think Swoobat has Air Cutter, which hits both opponents, but it doesn't have a strong amount of base power, so I think going with that stored power, just insta-gibbing one Pokemon really fast is where it's at. And then the fake out support is brilliant. If it wasn't for that Protect, you know, it just really shows the strategy. So stored power into Sylveon, a special defense tank under Light Screen getting wrecked right there. There's just too much damage from that stored power in one turn. Tons of defense coverage, so my guess is like probably a heavy hit point investment, heavy defense investment, and then a bit of speed. That way the speed gets topped off really well, and the opponent just quits right there.
I don't even know what we are getting into. All I've heard about the comments on this video is that it is absolute madness. So here we go. The opponent is going to lead with the classic Kanga Meowstic. So what you can expect is a Safeguard Mega Evolve Fake Out into a Swagger boost on the Kangaskhan for ultimate destruction. But we're going to see how Hawlucha deals with that, as well as the Latios. So, I mean, Quick Guard, that's one way of preventing the Fake Out. And are we going to see the Safeguard? Alright, so the combo is still alive. And now, is it well? So Latios with that Calm Mind, free Calm Mind. I mean, as long as you can deal with that safe swag, it'll be okay. Actually, Hawlucha might be able to get some shutdown right here. So there's some Protect. Ooh. On the Kangaskhan, as there's a Charm from the Meowstic. So playing a little bit of both right now. Charming the Hawlucha will reduce like a high jump kick, but Hawlucha's not going for that. It flung the Starfberry onto Latios. I was like, Flings Rock? No, Starfberry is going to gain defense. Actually, doesn't Starfberry randomly... Oh my goodness, guys! It's the freaking, like, super boosting! Okay, that is done. I don't even know what to say anymore. Alright, guys, I need to go back for a turn, because this is absolutely awesome! So we've seen this before with the Swoobat. That Swoobat, it has the simple ability, so it gets like double boosting on everything. But the idea is you can use Fling, Dark type move, to weakness policy with a berry. Starfberry randomly boosts a stat by 2. So you could have chosen all kinds of crazy things. Salac Berry would work, Ganlon Berry if you just want the regular defense. But you pretty much take like a Acupressure RNG kind of roll with it. You might even get evasion, I believe, out of Starfberry. So right now, Latios at +3 special attack, +2 defense, +1 special defense. That's pretty good right there. And then you quick guard from any kind of scariness. So quick guard is going to protect right there. Latios outspeeding into that stored power. And that's going to be Kangaskhan going down. Game's over. Game is over, bro. Oh, man. I hope the rest of these battles are the same strat. This is absolutely wonderful to see. So, there we go. More Swagger stuff. So, Swagger's going to get through. Hopefully, Lucha has a way of dealing with this, because, I mean, that could be kind of bad for Latios, but at the same time, Latios just gains more stats. Sky Drop. So, Sky Drop. Ooh. Now, Latios is going to go for something, even though it's confused. Latios is confused, hits itself in confusion. That is unfortunate, but you do delay that turn as Swagger keeps coming. Wait, why is Meowstic using Swagger? He's just gaining Latios' stats. Like, now, every time he uses Swagger, that's 60 power to the stored power because of Stab. So he just boosted 120. Like, okay. Latios is confused, hits itself in confusion. Alright. This is working out for the opponent. But, I mean, you just need to Swagger once. So there's the Hyper Voice. Latios has a lot of special defense. Will survive. Hawlucha does go down. Now, Latios is a Dragon-type Pokemon. So now, the opponent trying to bring it back. And things are about to get interesting. So no longer protected by a Safeguard. The Meowstic comes in against the Meowstic to anti-Meowstic the Meowstic. As there's a helping hand into that Hyper Voice on Sylveon. So Meowstic gets the Fake Out though. Fake Out's going to shut down Sylveon for the turn. And that gives Latios an opportunity. As long as it doesn't hit itself in confusion, there's the stored power. So stored power is going to hit the Sylveon, and that will of course be a KO. Latios actually is like holding on just a little more than I expected, like the low hit points and stuff right there. So now that is going to be Garchomp on the Protect. Okay, it's not going to accomplish anything as Meowstic tries to throw down another Swagger. Meowstic's going to avoid that. There's another Reflect, so defenses are insane on this Latios. Even if it hits itself in confusion, now it shouldn't knock itself out. Does it? No, confusion is type. Wait, confusion is typeless. Does it apply to Reflect? I don't know. But either way, the opponent going for a double Protect right there, not wanting to get blown up, hoping that Latios goes down to its own Swagger. All it has to do is like snap out of confusion. The Meowstic has no win condition as well, so Latios is going to snap out of the confusion. There's the Ice Beam. Oh, the Ice Beam tech onto Garchomp. I think stored power is still more damage, even after a 4 times hit. And the opponent has just a Meowstic right now. So Meowstic's going to switch out, and okay, so that's Swagger, Fake Out. Wait, no, did it? No, I don't think it Fake Out. It went for the okay, Swagger, Safeguard, and other things that I wasn't paying attention to. So Meowstic doesn't have any offensive moves, or else it would have finished off Latios. Latios, is it going to hit itself in confusion? Oh, Latios goes down after the insane comeback, or the insane setup. So Meowstic trying to make this one happen. Now it's Meowstic versus Meowstic with the Clefairy on the field, and the opponent just going for some stuff. So there's Fake Out. That's going to be a flinch on the Meowstic. There's an Icy Wind as well. So going to just do a little bit of damage, slow down the Meowstic. We're like, okay, everything looks like it's dedicated to supporting the Latios. So once Latios goes down, bad things will happen. Right, Helping Hand. So Meowstic just Helping Hand the Clefairy, because the other Meowstic had Helping Hand as well, so that's going to be a Swagger. Swagger's not going to get any boosting, and the opponent just refuses to give up right now. As it's like a 2v2, so Clefairy has the Icy Wind. That's going to be a Void right there. Handle the leftovers. This battle could last a very long time. Does the allied Meowstic have the Swagger? No, he does not. Because else you could try to Swagger the Swagger to Swagger into Swagger with the Swagger. But it's just a Helping Hand on the Icy Wind to try to get the most damage possible. What is even happening with this battle right now? Meowstic's confused. Clefairy's confused. Clefairy is going to get off the Icy Wind. It does not miss this turn. But yeah, Clefairy is just speed support for the Latios with that Icy Wind. Maybe, does it have Heal Pulse? I would think so, to try to keep the Latios alive as long as possible. And that's going to be the Swagger confusion. So Meowstic is confused. Not really going to take too much in confusion. There's a Safeguard. So I guess the Safeguard protects him from the Swagger, but just boosts his attack. Clefairy is confused, gets the Icy Wind off. So trying to get some damage down through that. Icy Wind not really doing much of anything. Meowstic's speed has dropped down to nothing. there's the Leftovers. Like, Leftovers healing up most of the Icy Wind damage is kind of crazy right now. And then the opponent finally forfeits once he has realized there's nothing left to do. That stalled out really weird in the end, but I love the Latios strategy, so let's get into the next one. That was one of the craziest things I have seen in a while. Like, I love the weakness policy fling berry strat, so here we go. Ooh, it's the same team, this time with a little more firepower behind itself on that Mega Lopunny, or maybe Mega Lopunny, since we didn't see the Mega Latios. Probably Mega Lopunny, because it is weakness policy, so yeah. Now this is about to get interesting. Let's see how this battle ends up playing out. So, Hawlucha does things, opponent's got Klefki, Pyroar. I guess you can quick guard, just in case Klefki was going for like Thunder Wave or any kind of shenanigans right there. But that is going to be the Reflect. Hawlucha's got Fling and the Star Fairy. It's just rushing down that first turn right there, anticipating setup from the Klefki. And I mean, look at this. Weakness policy, special attack. Oh, actually special attack off the Star Fairy. And then that's going to be +6 already into the Calm Mind. That's going to be +8, which means 180 base power and then a 270 after stab onto stored power. That's a lot of damage. So Pyroar's going to be throwing down that Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice hits Hawlucha really hard. Hawlucha has the quick guard, and now we get to see what happens for this turn. So that's the Metal Sound. Quick guard is going to protect from that Metal Sound. Doesn't that drop special defense? It's either drastically or by 2. And that is going to be enough to one-shot the Klefki right there. So stored power showing a lot of strength. Hyper Voice will still land. Latios doesn't really care because of that Calm Mind. Hawlucha will go down. Not too much of a tanky Pokemon, but it did its job. It's just got the setup, and then it has Quick Guard just in case. Now we're going to have Aegislash as Clefairy comes into play. So Clefairy's going to follow me just in case there's Shadow Ball. Actually, that would be something to worry about from the Aegislash. So stance change coming out of the Aegislash. Aegislash actually going for the Shadow Sneak. That's going to hit Clefairy instead. And if it's Blade Form Aegislash, not surviving a stored power. Oh my. Okay, so good night, Aegislash. That is going to be enough damage to KO. And it looks like Latios is just going to get that clean sweep. That's what I like about that Clefairy. You know, you can either follow me. I imagine there's a heal pulse. You have the Icy Wind just in case you need to lower some speed. It all works out. So that's going to be the Diggersby. Diggersby can do a lot of damage, but Latios just too fast. There's a follow me to be safe. So I'm guessing you stored power the... I was about to say you stored power the Pyroar, because if it's using Hyper Voice, the follow me doesn't really work for the Hyper Voice, and I feel like Clefairy might have been able to do something else maybe. Icy Wind just in case it was Sash Diggersby. But Latios will get the stored power and then finish off the battle. So let's do another one. Oh my goodness, I did not expect the battle to go that fast, but here we are. Let's go to another one. I like the strat. And let's wrap up this Fan Fridays right here. So I just like seeing how this happens. Now, the follow-up is really tricky, I'd imagine, because it does put a lot of power, a lot of pressure onto Latios to be the 1v6 carry. Well, 1v4, 1v9, whatever you want to call it. Latios has to do well, and that could be very problematic if you're getting double focus. So we're going to see what it does against the Crawdon Politoed combo right here. So just straight damage to take down the Crawdon on that superpower. Okay. If you can remove the threat, why not? Especially if it's a Zoroark. Why not? And that's going to leave us to the Calm Mind with the Politoed on the field, so we can Fling whenever we want. And that just means Fling going to get the outspeed as Latios turns into a sudden one-shot. Definitely something that could happen as Politoed goes for the Scald. Scald hitting Hawlucha. No burn? No burn. Now there's the Scizor. So stored power on Scizor will still be very, very strong. Maybe not enough to KO, but that's still a very high amount of base power coming out of Latios, which can be a very strong Pokemon. Also, I guess one thing that that I wasn't really mentioning with the weakness policy, the weakness policy is doubling the special attack, so any resist is going to be ignored, and the special attack goes up again. So at ×3 special attack, the resist doesn't matter, and it's still a 270 base power. Yeah, Scizor's not surviving. So that's going to be stored power onto Scizor. Boom, get wrecked. That was what I didn't realize. Like, I was so focused on just the amount of stats and not the actual stats themselves. That's why you can hit, Steel-type Pokemon and still do enough damage for the KO. Probably would be enough to KO the Aegislash then, for sure, even in shield form. So, Scald will finish off Hawlucha. doesn't matter because that's the power play. Like, I actually wonder if it's stronger or better to do this on the second turn. So if you're doing it on the second turn, then the opponent might not expect it. Like, alright, Hawlucha got the free KO on the Zoroark, and Latios was able to get a Calm Mind. That doesn't look so bad, and then suddenly you just lose. Actually, after the Calm Mind, it's +3. So Latios is at a +5 on the special attack. Crawdon gets frozen for a little bit extra right there. I really don't think it mattered. Well, Crawdon could do a knockoff. That could be pretty nasty, but there's no item to lose. And Clefairy is packing the Follow Me. So yeah, like, just GG, get wrecked. Latios going to Ice Beam. Crawdon goes away, doesn't show any threat onto the Latios from the Politoed. Politoed's going to get one shot by the stored power once we can use it again. And, wow. I love it. That is such a ridiculous strategy. Oh my goodness. So Clefairy's got the Protect just to absorb a little bit extra of a hit as well. Latios stored power. I don't even want to keep track of the stats anymore. Tons of damage. And one of the coolest strats I've ever seen on Fan Fridays. So if you guys enjoyed some of the best combos we have seen on Fan Fridays, I can't wait for Pokemon Sun and Moon. Oh man, Passimian, all those new combos that are going to be coming out, it's going to be insane. Next up, we have the Last Resort sweeps that blew my mind. So up to see you guys in that video coming up next.